Ladies and gentlemen, it's England versus England, towing the hockey together in game number 1 of our evening. Josh Clough is our referee in charge of this one. It is the best of 5 sets.
Well, there he is, the man in black. And they do exhibitions with the men in black. He's one of them, Daniel Fitton's another, and our very own Tony O'Shea is one as well. And you've never ever seen that great man in other than his all black. And certainly this young fella, 29 years of age, made a name for himself the other day with a fantastic victory over the American Joe Cheney, that is. And maybe that'll be to his advantage, as we've said before. Those have already played on this stage. But I would suspect, Paul Nicholson, that your old pal did a lot for you when you were a younger player. Will be able to overcome that. He's experienced.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Himself.
First set, first leg is Gary to throw first. Game on!
He's got the darts anyway.
Yeah, he's got more experience in his little pinky finger than most people have got in a career.
135.
Got to pay tribute to Robbo. 19th appearance in the BDO World Championships, which puts him second on the all-time list behind the great Wolfie Adams, who's 8 in front of him.
57.
And Robbo would admit that he'd be mystified that he hasn't had a huge run yet. But this year, when you look at the draw, you think
99.
that maybe, just maybe with the change of venue, that if he can put in a performance here and get the win, he might have a great chance of emulating previous quarterfinals or maybe going further.
135.
Well, Ben Hazel, Mr. Ben will have other ideas. Played very, very well the other day. I was impressed with him. We've had some really
81.
good debutants during the course of the last few days. And he's certainly one of them. Into the groove in a mo. Bedfordshire County
25.
player, even though he lives in the neighbouring Hertfordshire, near Stevenage.
Robbo with that individual style, shallow stance.
100.
The back foot's very close to the front foot. And there's the tiniest bit of a sway with the technique, but the draw back of the dart turns it sideways and propels it forward in his own way. As Hazel gets his first 180. Just to hang in this leg.
Now
Robbo's got to take the 86.
Wants another one of those. Well, he went for big 18 there to give himself a
36.
chance at the ball. And
then you
now
require 104.
Hazel.
Oh, he doesn't get a shot at double 12. And that missed single from
56.
Robbo was just because
Gary
of the pressure put on
50.
him by Ben Hazel. Double 16. Very
Game
good
shot on the
indeed.
first leg.
Good recovery
Gary Robson.
after missing that big single in
Second
the
leg
previous
is Ben
visit.
to throw first. Game
I've got
on.
to say, Gwynny, I'm a believer in signs. And when Robbo got the biggest title of his career in 2005,
96.
he won the World Darts Trophy and he beat a certain Remy van Barneveld in the semi-final. But who he beat in the final?
Yeah.
140.
That man is in the building tonight. Mervyn King is in the audience.
Must have made a few appearances on the Lakeside stage, I should have thought. Mervyn King, before he decided to move elsewhere.
I don't think Merv has missed the World
177.
Championships in something in the region of 24 years.
What a fantastic start this for Hazel. He's got a 180 and a 171. He's one down admittedly, but if he keeps that up, then Big Robbo will have a job on his hands.
95.
When Robbo made his debut in the BDO World Championships, Ben wasn't even 10.
100.
And I was only in my 60s.
Then you require 133.
No, it's amazing, isn't it? Anyway, 133. I'm surprised he didn't go down for 19s, even though he doesn't have to finish with this
53.
visit. Would have made it perhaps a touch more sense.
I was thinking 140 here. So they get equalised in the score column. It's unneeded. To get to an easier finish, and he does that with a lovely dart.
Then you require 80.
25 and bull has got to be the shout. Button.
49. Gary require 120.
But he's done this a few times in his career. Might be doing it again. Add one more if it goes in double top.
100.
Not quite. So Hazel a
Then you
chance to
require
level up.
31.
Tidies up the single very well indeed. Does he have to move? He has.
15.
Maybe not enough. A little brush on the flight there.
Gary, you require
But not
20.
much of a deflection to take it into the red bit. And Robbo needs 5s. Got to be high with this one if he misses. Rangefinder. Oh, he found it all right.
Second leg.
Big double from Robbo.
Gary
That one.
Robson.
That's what you call it when it's a mile away. A
Third leg is Gary to throw
rangefinder.
first. Game on.
You've got one on me there, mate. It was a great last dart, given that that rangefinder was halfway to mask.
99.
That's the thing. If you go high, you've got some sort of gauge as to how hard you got to chuck it.
I understand, yeah, the weight of throw.
Yeah, you
You're
go
right.
low.
Yes.
You've got no option because, let's face it,
And
you're inviting your opponent back to the hockey.
so much of the
60.
game in that sense is in the mind. That calculation as to the weight of the throw relative to the one you've just let go.
39.
Angel of the North there, and the famous bridge, of course, across the Tyne on his shirt. Wonder where he's from.
Yeah, he's very proud of where he's from, his guys.
Like you, he's a big
60.
NUFC man, isn't he?
I think it's fair to say that Robbo is a slightly bigger fan than me. I'm a big fan, but he's a massive fan.
Just
Surely.
whatever you do, John.
140.
Whatever you do, John, don't call me a Sunderland fan. I said,
Don't.
nah, lovely fella.
Yeah, he's great at darts, but he's terrible at hoverboard riding.
70.
Famously, a few seasons ago, tried someone's hoverboard and found himself colliding into a cabinet. He's
140.
really starting to turn up now, though, John.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, 83 left now. And he looks as though he's going to take this first set with some comfort.
57. Gary, you require
Hazel's threatened
83.
from time to time, but I think it's fair to say as he looks at 66. I think that's in single 10. That'll
43.
square it up now. Tops.
Yeah, professional stuff from Gary. And Ben's just been a little bit more erratic on the scoring until now. That's much better. But it's been feast or famine in the scoring for Ben
Gary, you
so
require
far.
40.
We'll need a bit more of that in set 2. If indeed Robson takes 10s, which he does, and that's the first set in the bank.
Gary Robson. Second
Ben
set,
Hazel is
first
going to
leg,
have to
Ben to throw
respond.
first. Game on.
In a way that he didn't really need in his previous game with Joe Cheney, because he was, on the whole, in charge in that match.
100.
That's right. He got ahead. I think it was 2 sets up, in fact. He was. And Cheney came back to 2-2, and they actually took 8 legs to win the deciding set.
41.
So he's been in a real humdinger. There's another famous old face, and he could just about raise a hint of joy about being seen on the screen. Lovely lad,
100.
and a great champion in his time.
Got some darting royalty in here tonight, isn't it?
Isn't there just? By
Yeah, I'm
Jove.
not just talking about Robbo and Ben Hazel, but
85.
seeing glimpses of Merv King, Andy Fordham, Wayne Mardle.
Yes, I saw Wayne before, and the referee Georgie Noble is here. Rod Studd,
83.
commentating colleague on another channel.
Yeah, it was really funny. Mardle giving Robbo a bit of a hook on the walk.
137.
I don't even think Robbo knew he was here. Might look at 18s here on the switch if he's got enough room.
81.
He probably should have. I'd much rather have 120 than 118. But Robson's got a chance here. He needs to switch.
59.
Unfortunately,
Ben, you require
that trebleless visit
137.
is not good enough, and there's some travelling Ben Hazel fans. 117 left. And that was the right
37.
call to go back to the 17s, but he'll wish that he got more than that.
Well, he's only played 3 legs. He's at 2 180s and a 171.
41.
And you'd have expected
Ben,
at
you
least
require
one of those
100.
legs to be a winner. Maybe this is the one. Wayward with that, but squares it off. Now here we go, double 19.
62. Gary, you require 138.
That was very close. Rob, we're looking for 6 19s. Oh, he went the 17s route. 6 of them for double 18. I like that route. He does like double 18. Just in case
Ben, you
Hazel
require
fluffs these lines on
38.
38, Robson's lurking.
Oh, it's hit 12, so that's 26. He wants the one above it, double 13.
Is the flight in the way, Gwynny?
I wonder. Maybe he'd have to move to the left of it, and that's what he's done, I think, and then throwing slightly across.
25.
Well, that was careless,
Gary
wasn't it?
require
Not getting the
58.
big 6. 58, then 18 tops.
Robbo couldn't wait to get to the hockey and take his
Game
chance.
shot on the first leg.
A chance he's taken.
Gary Robson.
And in previous championships, Gary's had
Second leg is Gary
games that
to
he'd
throw
rather
first.
forget.
Game
But right
on.
now, he looks hungry, he looks ready, and he's taking chances. And you can't offer things like 58 to Gary when he's in this mood.
85.
No, he's a pretty placid, phlegmatic individual, this guy. A lot of people had let that worry them, bother them. The fact that he went in double 6 was careless enough.
140.
But the fact that it actually made it more difficult to get the target he wanted didn't help.
60.
Put these things behind you and hope that things change.
Yeah, I echo your sentiment, John, about how level-headed he is. We're seeing a little bit more emotion
29.
from him this evening, but it looks a little bit more negative than the other day.
I agree. Yeah. He wasn't put under this pressure in the opening 2 sets
83.
by Cheney. He was later on and withstood it.
That's the dart he craves to start a visit, because he can nestle. That third dart was a bit of a
140.
slip, but he can start finding that first dart a little bit more often. It'll cause more problems for Robbo.
55.
Well, against the darts here, Hazel now has the darts, if you see what I mean. Can he home in on winning
45.
a leg?
He leaves a double. And what he's trying to do now is hit the flights and squeeze it in.
140.
That might be
Ben, you
enough.
require 147.
Still 78, very gettable for Robbo, and Hazel
76.
rescuing it to a certain
Gary requires
extent. But he'd
78.
have hoped to have been even closer to the double. About 66 left. Bull he'll go for here. Well,
45.
Hazel now 71, treble
Ben, you
13,
require
double
71.
16. He may go treble 17. No, he's gone 13, 18 and tops.
Top bin.
Game shot on the second
Top
leg. Ben Hazel.
The break he craved.
Third leg is
In
Ben
a
to
set
throw
where he
first.
throws first
Game
in the
on.
odd-numbered legs. Can we really measure how important that tops was? Because if he misses that and Robbo hits, he's halfway to the door.
Just getting a winning
85.
leg. He scored brilliantly. He scored erratically, but he has had some brilliant scores, and probably deserved
61.
to win a leg, in fairness, in that first set. But anyway, he's rectified matters in the second. He has the throw.
I'm going to test your knowledge now, Mr. Quinn. Who did Robbo play on his debut?
Oh,
140.
goodness me. And what year would that have been?
Early 2000s, if not 2000, because I'm just going off the top of my head, and I know who the opponent was
140.
because it was on live TV and I didn't miss a trick. And I say that because it's Ben Hazel's debut in this tournament.
Yes.
So who do you think Robbo played on his debut?
125.
I have to think about that. I would imagine it would have been one of the more prominent players because he would
prominent,
have been,
absolutely prominent.
Yes. It wasn't the winner, Ted Hankey, was
30.
it? No.
Ben, you
I'll give you two more
require
guesses.
151.
Barney? No.
Good shout.
Yeah, Barney.
Raymond van Barneveld.
Who in the year 2000, if it was that year, was defending it, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He'd won it twice for the second time in '99.
100.
Steady turn from Gary to leave the big fish.
Then you require
But Hazel
91.
in charge on throw. Shouldn't really be going for the bull route here. With Gary on such a big finish. He's going to lay up and hope that Robbo doesn't
51.
reel in the shot that
Gary, you
Willem
require
Mandigas has already hit in this tournament.
170. 49.
Only 49, so
Then
he's
you require
1-2-1,
40.
and Hazel now might have 6 darts to take this out, but he probably won't need that. Now, if Robbo takes out
Gary, you
1-2-1,
require
then
121.
Hazel will have reason to worry.
Went next door when he needed that
41.
51.
Number 10 for
Then you
Mr.
require
Ben.
10. Game shot on the third leg. Ben Hazel. Fourth leg is
Hit the
Gary to throw
exact puncher
first.
mark
Game on.
that Robbo left in that double 5 from the previous leg. Now, this game has changed ever so slightly.
137.
Robson desperately craves that 2-0 lead at the break. He's going to get it. He needs to put in a bit of a burst. Hazel, just looking at his action today, there's a tiny bit more shoulder involved in the action,
45.
which for me, John, just is a sign of tension.
And therefore, how that last dart was in the 5, there's a lack
60.
of consistency down the line, which certainly existed in the first couple of sets the other day against the American Cheney.
60.
Well, whenever Robbo plays, he gets a lot of viewers in the northeast. Certain places that he's played local darts for, they all tune in.
140.
And especially the place where he played a lot of his Super League and Champions Cup type darts. Bedlington Station Club in Northumberland,
58.
very close to
Gary require
the border with
164.
North Tyneside. He's got time on his side to get 2-2, and another one of those will be handy.
86.
That's okay, he's got a plentiful lead here.
Well, the first set was 3-0 to Robson.
58.
But
Gary
this
require
one's
78.
going to be 3-2 to one of them, methinks. 8-20 tops for 2-2 in this set.
38.
You could almost accuse Gary of the professional miss there, because if you want to come back for a shot, you'd much rather it was the most northern double, like 16 instead of
Gary
8s or
require
tops
40.
instead of 10s. Now he's got 3
Game
clean at the
shot on
top and only
fourth
needs 1.
leg. Gary Robson.
That went in really fast. Almost 3 in the
Fifth
run.
leg is Ben to throw first.
And I
Game
rather
on.
feels, Nico, that Mr. Ben has got to prevail here. To be 2 sets to 0 down against a player of Gary Robson's ability
95.
and experience, I think it's going to be too much to ask. Never write anybody off, but this is so
100.
important, particularly for this man.
One thing we do have to say is that Ben does have experience in last leg shootouts and sets
87.
already in this tournament. That's something that Gary doesn't have, so maybe he can draw on that, Ben. But Robbo looks
140.
ready because he's chuntering away, just those lips quivering a little bit. He's talking to himself. A very steady start of ton 140, forcing Hazel to do just that with the second dart.
100.
Just slightly dragged that last one down.
55.
Could go either way. It's 2 legs all. Never mind the first set. This set alone is crucial for 2 different reasons. Robson 2-0 or 1-1, and Hazel is right in the thick of it.
26.
Only gets 26 when he virtually had the throw.
This is a chance that Robbo looks like he's going to take. Oh,
174.
what a that little bit of celebration from Robbo tells you how much he enjoyed that 3 darts.
Absolutely fantastic that from Robson.
87.
And
Gary require 32.
certainly that one visit alone has probably earned him the set. 88. He's got to go in between those 2 darts.
16.
He was looking for the Johnny Wilkinson dart there through the posts.
106.
But he missed. And this would be a steal. He's going to get a dot for the set. 10 or a 6 has got to be done. 6 it is. You can tell he was a bit edgy. He didn't know whether he wanted 14 or 10 or a 6. It's tops.
86.
And you knew the way
Gary
that he settled
requires
himself
16.
and waited, that he knew that was so
Game shot
important.
on the second set.
On such
Gary
moments
Robson.
can a man of
First
fighting
set, first
qualities,
leg
Paul.
is Gary to throw first.
He's going to need them now.
Game on.
Slightly different proposition for Ben Hazel on this occasion. I think Gary wants that dart back.
45.
Bit of a loosener there. Of course, they only get 3 or 6 darts when they resume after the session. But there are a couple of dartboards in the backstage area that a lot of the players tend to stay loose on
100.
when they leave the stage.
That's more like the first dart.
Gary from Backworth, of
98.
course, just north of Newcastle. Backworth, a small place just off the A19 motorway, just shy of the great town of North Shields.
95.
Still a Geordie. Don't have to be from Newcastle itself, do you?
Got to be born next to the River Tyne, which I was, but raised in the Northumberland area.
123.
I see. Which Sid was.
Yeah, he was just north of me. And Gary spent a lot of time in Bedlington, which is darts country really, and played a lot in
39.
Ashington as well, great coastal town.
Which is where the footballing brothers, Bobby Charlton and Jackie Charlton, came from, of course.
Exactly right.
82.
Yeah, he cut his teeth with county darts, of course, Super League, and played a lot of holiday camps in the 90s and had great success, Robbo. And it took him a while to really find his feet in
97.
the BDO
Gary
rankings, but when he did, he
153.
hasn't left. Been there for 2 decades.
Come down, 73 left. That's treble 19 for double 18.
99.
54 when he goes
Then you
then.
require
This
170.
would certainly chirp this fella up. Ah, that's a lovely dart. Put one with it. Yes, middly diddly. Oh, so
145.
close. If only that wire had been a bit
54.
further over.
How many times have I said that to myself?
Yeah,
Tops.
great effort.
10s and only 1 dart. It's not a
34.
good shot.
Then you
Ben
require
has
25.
put the pressure on. Can he full stop the leg? Well, he's going to need a single first, and he's got the single,
No score.
Well,
but it's not the right one.
he's hit
Gary
the 14
required
and
20.
been tempting to go for 3, then gone in 19. So he got it wrong twice. Oh,
No
now
score.
he's got in the wrong house. Well,
Then you require
would you
25.
credit it? Back again, Hazel, to split 25, double 8.
Game shot on the
That's
first
better,
leg. Ben
boy.
Hazel.
Now then, he's broken the
Second leg is
throw.
Ben to throw first.
Can he
Game
hold
on.
his throw?
Well, the end of that leg was right keys, wrong house.
100.
Just adds to the tension you feel. And Chris Landman of the Netherlands is waiting after his tense encounter with Dave Parletti.
77.
Yes, we're only on day 4, and that seems like ages ago. 72 hours back. Oh, this is good stuff. This is good stuff.
140.
I wonder which dart clubs are going to be watching Ben Hazel in the Bedfordshire and Hertfordshire region.
41.
Great places to play in, the likes of Welwyn Garden City, home of the great Nick Faldo, of course. Mentioned certain Hertfordshire greats in his previous game, the likes of the
91.
West Brothers and Dennis Ovens. I started my county career back in
100.
January of 2000. Gary had already
170.
started focusing on tournaments and not county darts, but Ben Hazel's on the 170 again.
This time, though, he's well ahead.
98.
We've almost got to be careful here, because with the format the way it is, this game could get away from him pretty quickly. He's going to have to knuckle down and start getting some
97.
trebles.
Ben, you require 72.
Not allow Ben Hazel too many shots with 6 darts, and that's exactly what it is here.
Now then, tops.
52.
Just a fraction short, and he'll be back for double 10. Will our friend Mr. Ben.
Need to get close and ask a question.
66.
And that is close
Ben, you
enough.
require 20.
It's a 1 treble out. Got to rely on the misses. Straight down the line for 10s, and that was a lovely use of the guide. Just glanced off the left side of the barrel. A beautiful shot from Ben Hazel to take a 2-0 lead.
Yes, that was Paul. He was excellent there, using that as a guide. He knew that if he
40.
banged virtually through the same dart, he'd get it. And that's what he did. Well, good darting knowledge in that audience. Really enjoying the fair. This lad, he's a big
91.
Spurs fan. Said the other day in his game, his favourite player is Ledley King. And if he's watching now, you'll be no doubt supporting him as he supported you in the past. I said, Stevenage, lad, Spurs? He said, yeah, my dad supported Spurs, and he made sure I did.
28.
That's what dads do.
He's cool as a cucumber in this set. It's got to be said that Gary's really not troubling him in the scoring. I don't know who
82.
Gary was talking to in the break, but he might have been talking to his Russian friend, Mr. I'm going to have a set off.
60.
My game has gone off, certainly.
Just strolling towards
60.
the potential finish line in set 3. But Gary's got to find the range of that first dart and just gain some confidence. That 57 seems to be coming to his aid a little bit, but he needs that 60 to start bearing fruit.
Now he's going downstairs, maybe with
46.
a finishing number in mind, but he's got nowhere near it. 222.
You can tell from the facial expression what Gary
60.
thought of that second dart. Well, Ben, if he slips up here, Gary is lurking. Level score before that dart, and Ben is starting to slip.
28.
Well, he's had 2 poor visits from an advantageous position, and now suddenly that's gone. But Gary Robson at the moment is struggling on the 20s, really struggling.
38.
His game has really gone to pieces, Paul. That's the only way I can put it. Ever since Hazel took that first leg.
58.
I think it just goes to show that the break coming after set 2 was really not good for Robbo's game. He just wanted to keep going. And since he's come back, he's really struggled to find his range. But that treble 19 in this leg has been vital for him.
Ben, you require 136.
Yes, the last really memorable moment from Robson, as I recall, was when he set up
95.
32 from 206.
64.
He scored that 174. Now he wants 56. Now he wants tops.
Game
Oh well, all credit. He may not be able to hit treble 20, but as long as he can hit the double, that's all that matters.
You know what they say, John? They don't put averages on trophies.
Oh no.
100.
2 legs away from the match then, Robbo. He won the previous set from this position, 2-1 down. So, can he do it again? And that's the best visit he's had since the break. Apart from that 64 out, which you've just seen.
Yes, Ben Hazel had every chance to have this set wrapped up at 3-0, but he had a couple of very indifferent visits. He could have been away and gone from Robson. But he's a, as 59. I say, a pretty phlegmatic individual. He just plods on and he's not going to let it affect him.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play cards against this lad. Doesn't give much away.
Well, he had a pile of twos to go for a few minutes ago, didn't he?
Oh, 57 switching again from Gary.
96.
Yeah, sensible. When you've got a 9 on the end of your score, the switch is good. He might have to switch again on the next visit to ensure a finish. Hazel will be
85.
on. 3-1 is okay, but it's north of that 130 range, so in order to take it, he needs 2 trebles.
And again, that treble 19 coming to his aid. It's just as well that hasn't deserted him. 1-3-1 though for the set, and that was discernibly pulled. No question, great recovery. 63 scored.
123.
8 left. 8 left.
Gary require 126.
The 19th has got to be good to him now, Paul.
Oh yeah, oh it's not. Just when he needed it again. A couple of darts
70.
He wants to forget, and finally he hits a 60, but
Ben,
it may be too late.
8.
There's a certain irony about that somehow. Double 2. And his opponent is lurking.
4.
Well, that was unconvincing. It should have gone over the top. No added weight to the throw. And suddenly Robson is likely to make it 2-2.
Double 10 is a must. This is a big dart.
36.
Did that usual double shake of the hand before he threw it.
4.
And he just pushed it a good inch right. And Hazel needs to be more convincing on 2s this time. Again, he's got the blocker. It's a good miss because now it's open to double 1.
No score.
Now the first sign.
Gary require 20.
Of real emotion there from Hazel. He knows that he couldn't afford to miss again. To let Robson in.
I think Ben was showing a little bit of frustration on the stage there, and Gary heard something, but it wasn't malicious. This could be though.
10. Ben, you require 4.
Double 2. Just 2 little words. One little dart does it.
Ben Hazel.
That's the 3rd set to Ben Hazel. How will Gary Robson respond to that? Because he was, as my old friend, our old friend Sid Waddell would have said, he was a bag of nails in that set from beginning to end.
42.
Yeah, I think that's fair criticism really, but Robbo could have been 1 leg away from victory.
100.
But now he's 3 away again. The beauty of set format. Delightfully challenging. This game is not over by any means.
100.
Entertaining evening ahead. Of course, Lisa Ashton, one of the lady greats, is next up against Paula Jacklin. Robbo's found his range again.
140.
Oh.
140.
Tit for tat.
All of a sudden, things have changed. Robbo looks more purposeful.
140.
Another 140 to add to the previous one.
Might have been a 180 that, but for the ricochet, the diversion.
He's not a kind man, that Rick O'Shea.
He's not.
137.
Everything bounces off him though. He's
Gary require 121.
tough as old boots he is, Rick O'Shea. Bullseye. Oh, so
96.
close.
That'd have been a 12 darter pull. He'd have dug that out from somewhere. And now, 82 after 12 arrows.
He'd be livid that he didn't get a shot at double from 82.
Gary requires
Small
25.
3 on the bullseye shot didn't help him, but 8 for Robbo to take the lead.
17.
Misses it by equal distance on both sides.
Ben
And Hazel
require 40.
to hold.
Yes, Robbo started with 100, 140, 140. Can't get the double 8. That's next door, down to 15s.
25.
Both struggling on the outer tram
Gary
lines,
require
having
8.
hit brilliant scores on the way down.
No score.
The game is becoming attritional,
Ben you require 15.
and we're seeing too many darts go in the wrong bed. Double 4.
Game
That's
shot
right
on
in the
the
corner.
first leg.
Almost at double
Ben
13, but the
Hazel, second leg
wire
is
separating
Gary
the
to go
two
first. Game
managed to
on.
tell us without VAR that that was most definitely a goal at double 4.
Another case of missed darts. Often can be as exciting as the ones that hit, even if they're not as good. The drama, certainly, if the crowd are feeling it.
Well, just like that double 18 with Paul Hogan last night. Everybody wanted that one to go in. Probably Adam Smith-Neal, his opponent, wanted it to go in as well.
121.
Robson has improved on his scoring in the last couple of legs, but needs to take his chances. If he keeps missing those opportunities like the last leg, Ben
42.
Hazel seems to be lurking a little bit more since the first set, which Gary dominated.
Oh, yes.
140.
Well, he's certainly found a better range on that 20s of late. Went through a terrible phase in the previous set.
Gary's always had good
85.
fighting spirit. Thinking back, I remember when he qualified for the World Masters about 19 years ago.
81.
He was involved in the final game with a lad from Buckinghamshire called Graham McFarlane. I was watching on, it was so tense. And Gary was incredibly feisty that day. Wasn't going to be denied, and he wasn't. He got through. He's going to need some of that now.
115 then. 95 left. 76, back up he'll go.
59.
I was thinking 115. You might as well go for 19s.
138.
But very few players do. Some go for the bull. Wanted 138, but that leaves 73.
84.
That leaves 54.
Gary
So
require
56 for Robbo.
Doesn't even hesitate to hit that single. A puff of air,
Game
then a
shot on
tops,
the second leg.
and puts right
Gary
what he didn't get
Robson.
before.
Third leg is Ben to throw first. Game on.
Oh, this is getting edgy. Do you think Gary Robson knows that the draw has opened up a little bit for him,
140.
and that maybe this is just a fabulous opportunity that he shouldn't miss?
Or does he look that far ahead? Does he look beyond the game that he's playing?
Well, the people around him in the practice room will probably tell him.
140.
As much as you want to try and zone out and do your own thing, people will always tap you on the shoulder and say, oh, guess who's just lost? Look who's won. You can't escape it. When you're at the tournament,
100.
you're surrounded by it.
Because it might also have occurred to Mr. Ben as well.
That's true.
He knows his darts. May not have seen him on the television much, but he's been around the county scene a little while now.
Everybody in the audience wondering what's going to happen next. Very similar legs from both players, starting with 140, backing up with a ton, and then a 40-odd score from each. Who's going to get that one telling shot? Ton. That is a really good dart from Ben Hazel.
Yeah. The score tells you how important that treble 20 was. Add 40 to that 112, and that's what he'd have been going for. Now he's got a much easier task than 152 would have said. Now he's got a chance. Now he's got a chance with double 16.
80.
He's not hit that with the first dart at all in this game, as far as I can recall.
Tough shot this. He's going for 617s. 617s for 32. Oh, it's just short. I love the idea.
98. Ben, you require 32.
Up. In. A fraction
24.
Too far. Can't believe it. Chance
Gary
gone.
36.
Robson loves this, Paul.
He does. Can glance off that. There you go.
Shot on the third
If he leaves 144, he always goes 618s for double. He taught me that 20 years ago. He loves double 18. And in a time of nerves and tension, it's just come to his aid again.
Yeah, and I've got to say that fella Ben Hazel, his throwing at double 16, double 8 has let him down quite a lot tonight.
This is what we know about the game of darts, Gwynny. You still got to get across the line, though.
Yep.
You can't practice doing that in any practice room. It's only when you get on the stage and have that experience can you
26.
Use it for future games and realise how your body and mind feel when you're in that moment.
No, nothing can replicate
59.
The match atmosphere, the match experience. This is a good recovery from a previous throw that was, I thought, signs of him fading away, but no.
Needs a treble, hasn't got one in this leg so far.
41.
That was a bit snatchy.
It was very snatchy, wasn't it? Very, very snatchy.
Yeah, when the dart comes out of the hand late, the dart player knows, and they try to save it with the shoulder and push it forward somehow. That one came out really late. Yeah, I like that sign. Trina Gulliver, MBE, get well soon. Absolutely right on board with that.
99.
99, so this leg very much in the balance. A lot depends on what Hazel does here. Needs a treble to maintain some kind of advantage.
60.
Well, you've got to say advantage Robson again. I know it's on his throat.
He's going to switch now. Hates that.
48.
Doesn't like that either. And Hazel, by hook or by crook, is still in control, even though he's slightly behind. Not anymore.
Excellent, excellent. Pull that one out. And he's had a 26, 260s, but the 140 he hit second time and the 137 he's just put in there
100.
have given him the chance to break the throw
78.
and given him hope.
To stay in this set, he needs double 12. Oh, smashing conversion. 137.78 out. That's a world-class conversion.
And during that leg, he showed more frustration early doors than he had in the whole tournament, for my money. And
Game
yet
on.
he held himself together and put in there 5 outstanding darts. Call it 6 now. Call it 7 now.
121.
And end at 7.
Well, John, this has to be the definitive game over, game on situation.
55.
Couldn't agree more. Previous set, of course, was 3-1 to this man, but the previous one to that was 3-2 to Robson, and that was nip and tuck. That was very similar to this.
100.
Needs to stay there. Needs another. Gets another.
140.
Stays in touch. Still needs mistakes from Hazel. But when Robson returns to the board, it's paramount that he tactically uses the 19s first.
95.
To land him on 185, so he can't finish, and you're right, he's gone for the 19s first.
96.
Good dart that. Bypassed the blocker. And again, a last dart treble keeps him in touch just in case.
That's what I
95.
mean, Nico, by holding yourself together. Hazel's done it brilliantly. Still not over this leg, we know. Bit of double trouble they've had before,
100.
both of them in the same leg a couple of times.
90.
So we can never assume that the win's going to be one way or the other. But now, double 15. He's got to square that off now. And does so.
82.
Wants double 4 when he comes back. But if Robson
110.
takes out his 110, he needs 90.
54. Oh, he wasn't happy with that.
58. Then you require 8.
Would have been for the match. Now this to save the set, to win the set, take it to 2 sets all. Double 4.
Game shot on the 4th set.
I'll leave that
Ben
to
Hazel.
the referee to tell you. A bundle of joy is Mr. Ben. He's come back
Final
brilliantly.
Set. First leg is Gary to throw first.
So there's
Game
additional
on.
little fist bump and the meeting of fists, and away we go for the deciding set. And a good few of
81.
these in this early stage of the competition.
Yeah, Robbo will be thinking, please don't play it like you did in set 3. First set after the
60.
other break. Because it was a set he wants to forget. And I'm sure he has forgotten it already. But there's been a bit of shuffling across the hockey with a few blocker darts in the small
22.
20 in this match so far. And Ben Hazel has got a lot of support here, and he's going to hear it in the next few legs.
Well, real frustration there shown by
140.
And then Hazel hits him with a 140, so it'll only build the frustration with darts like that.
41.
Beginning to struggle. Even the release of the dart from the hand isn't always as rhythmical as it was earlier in the game.
Yeah, there only looked like one winner after set 1.
60.
But that's the beauty of long format darts, isn't it? Oh, Lincolnshire darts are here. I've got news for you. Lincolnshire darts are everywhere. This is better from Gary. Oh, 3 smooth darts result in a 180. That'll cure what ails you.
Yeah, it can make a big difference, not just to the score, of course, but to his self-belief and his
91.
confidence. They may be one and the same thing, but 177.
47.
Well, it squares it off
Then
the
you require
130, but it's the last thing he
150.
wanted. Hazel 150.
Right now, Gary is just craving a shot at the ball for the leg.
What a last
94.
start, 56 left.
Gary require 130.
Top left corner, it's got to be. Oh, only just missed it. Just ricocheted off the cane.
65.
Half the score, but Hazel's in charge, and this is for a break. This is huge. A positive 16. A guide, and 1 dart left.
36.
And a shubby dart.
Yeah.
Gary requires
he tried
65.
to push it underneath that instead of throw it. Underneath that other dart. 65.
That was only just in the single.
45.
Yeah, he hit the flight. He could see that the dart was in the way, and he pushed it by about 2 centimetres. And it collided with the blocker. 10s for Hazel.
Game
in she goes.
Ben Hazel.
And he takes the lead for the very first time.
Second leg is Ben to throw first.
Absolutely.
Game on.
Not been ahead at any stage in the game till then. In the deciding set. And that's what happened this afternoon with David Evans, chasing the game all the way through. In the end, he just about made it.
Yeah, David Evans, who's going to go forward and play Richard Veenstra, who was impressive.
99.
Well, the pride of the Tyne right now is going to have to gather some of that pride and grit.
58.
And find something to keep himself alive in this tournament.
Yes,
100.
I half expected that. He was coming down the stairs to it, if you see what I mean.
Hazel's in. The switch is prudent.
87.
Only gets a small 7, so Robson has got the darts. Needs this chance to be used. And the way his darts stand, he needed to switch there because the flight lands left of the point, so he can't hit the 60 from hitting at that portion of the right side of the treble 20.
He's also got that 170 in mind as well. Clever thinking.
140.
Excellent stuff. He may have lost the throw, Hazel, in this leg, but he's not out of it by any means. It's a big visit, this, for 60 scored, so 110 left.
117.
Well, he'll be happy with that. 53, fancies chances. Hazel just needs to make a hole in this 176.
81.
Well, if Robson misses this 53, that last dart could be massive. Misses the single. 17 for double 16 to equalise on the last set.
37.
Now, how big was that treble 20? That last dart he threw.
45 left. Nothing wrong with that. He's going to get 1 dart at tops to go 2 up in the deciding set. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Not just the execution of the shot, but the way that he kept himself together and did it in a measured way. Brilliant.
60.
And those people who debate the 90 to 95 shots should look at that one and say, that's the way to do it when you're under duress.
Couldn't agree more with you, John. The bull route on 90 to 95 has to be used in that spot for me. You can be aggressive and go for the treble 19, but if you're smart and you're feeling a little bit nervous, get yourself a guaranteed shot for the leg.
140.
Now, Robbo, if he wants to win this match, has got to win 4 straight legs to do it in the shortest possible distance.
Yes, if he gets it back to 2-all, there'll be an announcement about the tie break, and there'll be music to his ears. The referee saying you've got to win by 2 clear legs. 60. He'll be delighted from here.
This is probably the most relaxed I've seen Ben Hazel in this entire match.
It's incredible, isn't it, when you think that all right, he's had lots of darting experience, but not in games like this, in front of 100. I don't know how many that are in and outside this Wonderful venue around the world, watching intently. Two Englishmen
94.
slugging it out.
Gary require 141.
Sweet switch from Hazel. Couldn't see the 60, so hit the 54. Now Gary needs a treble 18 of his own.
75.
Got to
Then
be
you require
reasonably happy.
118.
66. He's guaranteed one darter to double anyway, unless, of course, he now gets treble 20 and double 19 for the match. And a famous
80.
victory it would have been. 66. Clickety click.
66.
Can he clickety click it?
Double 18. Old favourite.
30.
Not on this occasion. He gave it plenty of juice.
Then you require
But now Hazel has a
38.
choice. Split or go. Split. I said earlier, John, that his double 16s weren't up to scratch. He won't care about them. He just cares about this one. And it's 8s to win.
22.
That double 16 belies
Gary
everything he's done in the
36.
last 90 seconds, 2 minutes. What moved the wire?
Game
Didn't
shot
move
at
the
the
wire
third
like
line.
the first one did.
Gary Robson.
It moved the wire like one
Fourth
that
line
went
is
in
to go
did.
first.
And
Game on.
Hazel there with a chance to win the game. Has to start all over again. And what a way to start on your throw.
140.
Brilliant stuff. But that double 16 has been his bête noire right the way through this match.
85.
Actually spoke to somebody in the world of darts about that very phrase, the bête noire, and they kindly translated it for me and said it's the black beast.
Yes, that's right. The
85.
Black Beast. And we've got a Frenchman coming on later on. I've been chatting away, practicing my own bit of O-level French, which is almost Northern French, to be honest.
125.
What'd you get at school for French?
I got O-level, which was, and I've carried it through my life.
I got a C.
Oh, well, but they didn't have A's, B's and C's when I was at school. They had
95.
percentages.
Well, Robbo needs 2 trebles. Hazel has 6 darts and 181.
97.
181. As Paul said, becomes 176. 156 needs a treble.
45.
That should be music to the ears of Robbo, because now if he goes 140, he'll be favourite. Now he has to switch.
45.
Well, he certainly had to hit a treble.
Then you require 136.
That's music to the ears of Hazel. 136. He's just happy to go down the line here. Squared it off. A ton will be great.
45.
But they're both at the
Gary
moment now.
require 149.
Feeling it. The tension. No question about it. Is too much at the moment for both
68.
players. And a dart like that can make
Then
a
you require
world
91.
of difference.
For the match, he's gone the 51 route, super aggressive. Tops to get it done. It's 2 more match darts, but it's only 1 required, and Ben Hazel's fans go absolutely nuts.